Hello, hello. Okay. Just getting everything set up or set down. I don't know. All right. Hello, hello, hello. I just completed a class. Hi, everyone. How we doing? Hi. Hi. If you missed the class, I just did a class not too long ago. I'm going to upload it on my YouTube later today. I just did a class about the chart rulers, and I really enjoyed it. I did. It was long, but I enjoyed it. It was longer than I thought, but I'm glad that I did it today. And if you missed it, as I said, I'm going to be posting it on my YouTube channel. It's actually going to be under TRZO on the go, so you can click it. If you click the Instagram thing, it has like the option for Instagram and YouTube. You just pop over to YouTube, and it's going to be up probably, if not today, then tomorrow. But we're just going to chat today for a little bit until I get ready to go. But if you have any questions in regards to astrology, numerology, tarot, all the ologies, or you just want to chat, let me know. But it is Saturday. It is sunny outside, finally. It's starting to get warm outside. Is anybody else happy that spring is here, that winter is done, dead, all the A words? Let me know. I'm just playing with this, by the way. Do-do-do-do. Everybody's quiet today. Yes, they are. Everybody just waking up. 7 a.m. waking up, eating breakfast. Well, it's 10:05 here. So maybe you're eating some brunch. And it's Saturday. Oh, well, she did make a video. She did, right. She wrote Rebecca Black made a Saturday, right? I remember the Saturday coming out. But anyway, 10:05 a.m. I'm not waking up. I didn't eat breakfast yet. Everybody's quiet. Everybody's all quiet today. Everybody just resting. They just listening to the smooth sounds of CD 101.9. Does anybody know what that radio station is? Is that still a radio station to begin with? I don't know. But I don't know. People just seem it's quiet today. No astrology questions. Everybody knows their chart. Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows their life path number. Their other numbers. LOL, that was so good. Oh, thank you. But for those that are just joining in, hi. We're just chatting today, answering some questions. Oh, what did I do here? Sorry, I'm playing around with this. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to break it. But, yeah, no, we're just answering questions. But everybody's being quiet today, you know, and I don't get it. I don't blame you. It's Saturday. You went through a hard day or hard week, you know. Hopefully it wasn't too hard for you, you know. What does Capricorn moon, 4th house, 23 degrees mean? Come on, specifics. First and foremost, with moon in Capricorn, just be sure not to suppress your emotions, especially because it's in the 4th house. You want to listen to your intuition there. All right. You may find like you're yearning for a sense of belonging because it's like no matter where you go, like you can get along with people, but you feel as though that you're not fitting in 100%. You're meant to be different. You're definitely meant to be different in that sense, but don't physically move to a specific place just for the sake of trying to fit in or trying to find that space of belonging too. 23 degrees doesn't add that much of a thrill. It just adds that Aquarian degree with the moon in Capricorn, but you're naturally ambitious. Emotional fulfillment comes through that career status, legacy, and life's work. You better put in your goals. Yes. All right. Hello, dear. Hope you're good today. I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi. All right, let's see. Virgo. Oh, wow. Not Virgo. Scorpio in the 11th house. Scorpio in the 11th house, very powerful position, especially if you want to have an online presence. Though it's going to be a hit or miss because you're a very magnetic personality, but people are either intimidated from you or they either really, really love you. But Scorpio in the 11th house, just be sure not to over-obsess with friends, groups, networks, organizations, and the execution of your future endeavors. But it helps you to step into your power once you manifest or bring your dreams into a tangible reality. Let's see. Can you talk? Oh, sorry. Virgo and Mars. Virgo and Mars, energy and drive towards mundane responsibilities, daily activities, as well as work schedule routine around personal development and physical health. Just be sure not to overwork yourself to your detriment. There is a tendency here to do that. But the universe is actually protecting you from your health because Mars is fighting for something, you know, and it's fighting, well, if it's in the 6th house especially, but in Virgo, it's more along the lines of like, it can give you frustration if people don't listen to what your help towards them, if that makes sense. Let's see. Can you talk about ascendant in Leo? I can talk about ascendant in Leo. I actually have a good friend that's an ascendant in Leo. Ascendant in Leo, major focus is going to be on establishing your confidence, expressing yourself, yourself, shining your light, as well as having fun, going on adventure, you know, focusing on children, procreation, love, romance. Ooh, you know, it's all about just having fun, motivating others to live the life that they want to live as well. Not a bad placement, not a bad placement, depending on where your sun is going to tell me more about that placement, okay? Let's see, I got a reading from someone and she knew I just bought a new phone. How would she know that? Do you have any 11th house placements or 11th house transits currently? Do you have any 3rd house or really 3rd, 7th, and 11th house Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra placements, or anything that is transiting through those houses or signs? That can definitely be an indicator. At least that's what I would think it would be, you know? Other than that, she could just be the psychic, or she knows who you are. Ooh, mystery. Let's see here. Oh, wow, it just reset it. I'm sorry, y'all. There were questions up there that I just don't know. I want an interpretation of my chart. I want a reading from you. What option should I put on your website? Oh, yeah. So if you haven't had a reading from me before, I recommend Tropical because, you know, we start off fresh if you're learning your chart. I do read both Placidus and whole sign, you know, so we're going to give you the best of both worlds. Call me Hannah Montana. But I recommend Tropical Astrology just to start. And then once you're comfortable with that, we can go to sidereal, astrocartography, the post-Rona charts. I also do synastry and composite, but you can do that online and everybody else can too. If you go to the link in my bio, it's under Universal Analysis, book readings. And so I do astrology, numerology, and tarot. So if you like my style, if you like me, we can definitely spend an hour crying over charts, you know, and laughing and screaming and all the A words. All right, let's see here. Hey, I have I have placements in the 8th house. The inheritance part is happening for me since birth, but what do you mean but? What's the but? Let's see here. What does Aquarius moon in the 17th degree mean? Aquarius moon, I'm not gonna lie, guys. The degrees they only add like the extra zodiacal flair. It could bring you some fame, maybe, but it's not like guaranteed per se. The Aquarius moon, first and foremost, don't over-intellectualize your emotions, but emotional fulfillment comes through friends, groups, networks, organizations, the execution of any future endeavors, being unconventional, rebellious, as well as being original. All right. Also with Aquarius moon, I will say that beware of the racing thoughts. You know, a lot of them going on, unfortunately. But you're not quite expressive with your emotions around everybody, but around the few people that get to see it, keep them around. All right, if they don't judge you, of course. 17 degrees is just a Leo degree, so it's adding that confidence and the sprinkle and the sparkle and the glam for that Aquarius moon. Depending on what house it's in, you may feel it more. But 17 degrees is also a fame degree, so hey, you may get some fame, you may get some attention on you. People are like, oh my God, you know. But for the most part, it's not guaranteed, as I said, because it's more of a theory than a fact. What's my big 3? Scorpio, Sun, Libra, Moon, Cancer rising in Tropical. Thank y'all. My sun is in Gemini, Moon in Aries. What about Aries rising in 1st house? Any rising will always be in the 1st house, won't be in the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, or 8th. But Aries rising is just a major focus on self-identity, independent, your life's direction, taking action towards your life's direction, as well as giving back to yourself through self-nourishment as well. So it's really about you. You know, because there's a tendency to really cater to other people, to really focus on relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection, business contracts. So it's really paying attention to you in this lifetime. What do you think of a ninth Venus in Sag? I don't think about it at all that much per se, honestly, but I can tell you what it means. Venus and Sagittarius actually have Venus and Sag. It's a really good placement. That means that there is harmony, balance, as well as you can meet other people through your belief systems, through a philosophy, through finding your own lifestyle, through finding your own truth. You may need somebody in a relationship that's going to match your belief system or give you your sense of freedom, you know, per se. But I will say a relationship will definitely help you to better understand the meaning of your life, and it will help you to understand the meaning of life in general, you know. But when it's in the ninth house, it's a very fortunate energy. Other people definitely may want to help you to find a belief system. So definitely, you know, pour into that. Hey, you may get a travel opportunity out of that. You all know we like to travel, right? Some of us do. My cousin doesn't like getting on planes. I'll never understand that. Me neither, though. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since I started aging, I need to sit in first class. I do. And I like to lay down when I travel. So I need to like at least lay down. If not, I can't sit up on a flight from New York to Seattle. Absolutely not. Call me bougie. I don't care. I said what I said. All right. Let's see here. I love Scorpios, though. They're one of my favorite signs. Thank you. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, and people just give them slander, and I just don't understand why. You know, I get it. Sometimes we can come off a very, intense, you know, but I think it's a good thing. I think we all mean well, maybe. Mind your business. Anyway, moving on. Yes, love seeing new places. Never been on a plane. You never been on a plane? Child, I will book you a ticket right now. You're not coming here because it's too cold here. I'm saving you from that. I'll send you to Florida. Why not? You know, let's see here. Within how many degrees do you consider a conjunction? I do 10 degrees because I measure it by the decans. So say, for instance, this is a decan, 0 degrees, 9 degrees. If it's within the same decan, I consider it to be a conjunction. If it's not in the same decan, if it's within 10 degrees, I consider that to be the conjunction. There are some people that consider it to be 20. We'll never understand that. There are some people that consider it to be only like 5. Certain planets, they say, have certain conjunctions, and I'm like, I'm just 10. Simple, easy, right? 10. Let's see here. Most of my chart is in Gatorade. Should I be worried? No. Love you. Oh, thank you. Love you too. No. So if your chart is in retrograde, this just means that you're here to redo certain lessons. So it's going to reverse the rules of the planets that are retrograde, and it's going to strengthen them. So if it's Saturn, child, I'm praying for you. I got Saturn in retrograde. It's no walk in the park, especially if you have it in Aries. No. But I will say, for the most part, you shouldn't be worried. It's just going to require a lot of introspection. You're going to have to go within yourself, because for Saturn retrograde, at least, I can speak from that from experience, because you're constantly going to ask yourself, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Are these people for me? Am I supposed to be here? That's how you know that you're on the right path, because you're constantly questioning. Oh, look at this. It looks lopsided. You know, let me just even that out a little bit. It looks fitting. Anyway, Jupiter retrograde tends to be very restrictive in a sense. I've seen that with people, that it kind of restricts the expansion, and it may be very hard for these individuals to understand the gifts that they have early on in life, but that means that they have to just go inside of them, because for us direct folk, we tend to just, you know, this is just something that we do, but the things that they are most good at, they tend to come with time, with Jupiter retrograde, which is why you need to go within yourself and, you know, introspect. But I will say, with retrograde planets, there's a multitude of reasons why they could be retrograde, or why we have the retrograde planet. For instance, if you have Saturn retrograde, you could have been in a position of authority, you could have abused it. I like to think that I didn't, though it's in the 10th house. I'm like, you know, but excuse my French, you know, I like to think that I did all good things in a past life, but child, I got Jupiter in 8th and Saturn in the 10th, so I'm like, I don't know what I did in a past life, but I'm not trying to come back here. It's been too real. But Jupiter retrograde is just more along the lines of, like, if you don't know your gifts, or you may not know what it is that you're good at, what your niche is, because Jupiter is the planet of your niche. You know, what are you naturally good at? You know, and so for retrograde Jupiter, you need to go within yourself and really locate, you know, what are you actually good at? What do you actually have the tolerance for? You know, most times it is unexpected. It's very few individuals that actually know what it is that they're good, like what they're meant to do, what they want to do. You know, very few individuals are like that. Mars retrograde can make you very unmotivated. I'm not gonna lie, depending on the house that it's in. You know, I'm not gonna lie, depending on the house that it's in, because if it's in the 10th house and it's retrograde, you still may put in that work. You know, if it's in the 12th child, it's a chop, you know, so it really depends. But yeah, retrograde planets just reverse the role and make them stronger. Let's see here. I got some new messages. Let's see. Love the Italian flag in the back. It's actually French. Tu parles un peu de français. But je ne suis pas français. Did I say that right? No. Kind of, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully. Anyway, what does North Node in Leo mean? I actually have this in sidereal. North Node in Leo means that you are destined to really step into your confidence and express yourself. Early on, it could have been hard for these individuals that do have North Node in Leo to express themselves in the way that they wanted to, because there was always somebody there to shut you down, to dim your light. This is very applicable to Chiron in the 5th house too, because I have Chiron in the 5th, and the same thing happened too. You know, there's always a party pooper that every time when you're expressing yourself, they don't like the way that you're expressing yourself, which I think it comes from projection and jealousy and bitterness, you know. But usually these individuals learn through having fun, going on adventure, or really just whatever the things that they've gone through, that they need to just be themselves unapologetically, because that's what's going to bring in, you know, the destined events, the fate in their life as well too. And of course you want to locate the house that it falls into as well. OMG, I dated a guy with all 3 in Leo, plus Chiron in Leo, Mercury in Leo. What I can say, child, I'm like, look, you know, a lot of Leo energy. Some Leo energy is okay. I can put up with them in increments. They sit in my 2nd house, but too much of it, no, gotta go. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on 11th house Chiron Scorpio squared Venus at 0 Decris? What sign is Venus in, and where is it squaring? You know, is it squaring that 8th? Is it squaring the 5th house? You know, where is it squaring? Excuse me. I tend to I ask these questions because I want to answer it in the most specific way possible. So I'm going to get back to you. I'm like, I did not eat, but I'm feeling gassy. So guys, if I just, look, I'm sorry. That Leo broke my heart just happened a month ago. A lot of chemistry. You know, he doesn't deserve you. You're better than that. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. Better is coming. Better is coming. Yes, I'll say that. I said what I said. I dated a guy with a lot of Libra, Taurus placements. I learned a lot about Venus. I actually have Moon in Libra, and I feel as though that, like, it's weird because it's weird because I see the world through a Venusian lens, because I don't resonate with being a Scorpio sun. I'm not gonna lie, I don't. You know, people can definitely hear it, you know, when I speak sometimes, because sometimes I can get really passionate. But I feel more like a Libra. I do. What was the question? Moving on. Okay, so what are thoughts on whole signs in astrology? I use both whole sign and Placidus, but whole sign just shows how the planets are actually going to manifest, like what's actually going to happen. That's why you can't really argue whole signs, you know, especially the aspects and everything, because it's gonna manifest in that area of life, whether you like it or not. You know, Placidus, you just may not feel it in that area of life, but it's gonna happen, you know. Let's see here. Leos can be super self-absorbed. That can turn into selfishness. They are not bad people, but spoiled. I wouldn't, well, you know, they do talk about themselves quite a bit, but it's because when they tried to do it earlier, it was held back. So they found that when they talked about themselves and they kept it interesting, that it kept other people not from projecting onto them, if that makes sense. So it's become this force of nature to really cater to expressing themselves and really focusing on their confidence and building themselves up, you know. But I wouldn't say that they're selfish per se. They're more along the, because they're very loyal individuals, especially when you are friends with them, you know. But I will say, like, that does come with a balance, because some of them can be vain, some of them can be narcissistic, or, you know, there's that shadow side, but most of them are not like that, you know. Let's see. I have Chiron in my 10th house with Midhaven, and my worth in my work, and my worth is around work, which I fail. Any advice? Okay, so if I understood this correctly, Chiron is in the 10th house with your midhaven. Could be a healer of some sort, depending on the things that you've gone through early on. You could have had authority figures, even your father figure. You could have had people that were in a higher up position saying that, like, anytime when you talked about success or you shared your ambitions with people, they tried to tear you down. You know, they tried to make it seem as though that you would never amount to any success. You may not do well with authority figures. This is because you're meant to be an authority figure yourself, you know, and your wounds will actually bring you fame. So I will say there's a level of vulnerability that needs to be expressed. Your 10th house ruler, wherever that falls. So say, for instance, whatever your 10th house is in, say, for instance, if it's in Taurus, you want to locate where Venus may be, or your planetary ruler of the 10th house, wherever that is, that's going to tell me much more about what you're meant to do with that Chiron placement. Let's see. Oh, I answered that already. Yes, I am a Libra moon, and I feel like a Libra, not in Aries. Right, like, that's what I'm saying. Moon and Libra, I don't know what's in their water, but, like, I feel more like a moon in Libra than I do a Scorpio sun. But what I also notice is that when I look at my sidereal chart and my draconic chart, all three of my chart rulers express themselves in Libra. Coincidence? I don't know. I don't know. That's what I said. Let's see here. Black moon Lilith in the 6th house in Aries. I usually don't observe Lilith. I'm not going to lie to you, but I will do it for you today. That does not mean that every other question you should start asking, not just you, but other people. That does not mean start asking about Lilith, because no, I'm only doing it once. That's it. All right. So Lilith tends to be like, or early on in life, you were suppressed or repressed in regards to certain qualities of that area of life. And so as a result, you go to the extreme. So especially when it's in Aries in the 6th house, there is a tendency to overwork. You're in that workaholic energy. Sometimes you could be over obsessive with your health or go to the extremes with taking care of yourself. You could be a workout fanatic. So it's really important here that we dial it back a little bit. All right. Because first and foremost, with Aries in the 6th house, I also have Mars in the 6th house. I think it's cute. You barely get sick, you know? So I would say that there's really not much effort that you need to do in that department. You know, do what you want to do, but don't take it to the extreme, if that makes sense. Just dial it back a little bit. It's the dark feminine energy. I understand, like, once you're restricted, you kind of just go extreme. It's like it's the IDGAF energy. That's what I said, you know? But it's just reeling it back, finding balance. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna use it. Maybe this is gonna be my pointing stick. I don't know. Let's see here. Yes, I'm a Libra rising in sidereal. That's right. Thank you. Of course. What planet should I look for relationship, marriage, or husband? Venus or Jupiter? Both, actually. You answered your own question. Relationship, marriage is going to be Venus traditionally. Of course, you want to locate your 7th house ruler, because your 7th house may not be in Libra or Taurus, but if it is, look at God. Look, okay? But Jupiter also represents the husband in the astrology. And so it's really important here that wherever Jupiter is, it's going to tell you the qualities that your husband may have, or where you may find their husband. But if it's in the 8th house like myself, I don't know, because, like, my thing is this. I'm like, you're telling me I'm supposed to find a husband in the grave when he's dead, you know, or when I'm dead? No, you know. So it could just be that you're meeting your spouse in a transformation. For finding a wife, it's Venus. For finding a husband, it's Jupiter. Just wanted to put that out there. Let's see here. What do you think about Jupiter and Pisces in the 7th house? Well, actually, I wasn't thinking much about it until I started reading this. So now I'm thinking about it. I will say, do not fall in love with the potential. Do not do it. Do not fall in love with the potential. Get to know somebody before you get in a relationship with them. You'll have an influx of people that you may find cute. You may have a crush or whatever. You can live in that fantasy, but, like, don't just be like, oh my God, I like your shoes, or I like your face, you know, and then you're in a 3-year relationship with them and you don't even know their middle name, you know. So I'm not speaking from experience, no, you know, but it's really important. I'm really not speaking from experience. My God, no, I'm not that girl. But just get to know somebody. Don't fall in love with the potential. Don't escape any business dealings. All right. Be sure to dot your I's and cross your T's. Business may be karmic for you. Okay. See, I already said it. I said, don't ask any more questions on Lilith. There's the person that's asking the question about Lilith. You know, I'm just not going to answer it. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. What does Scorpio 12th house South Node conjunct the ascendant mean? Oh, I hear bad things about South Node conjuncting stuff. No, because I have a South Node conjunct my MC. I wouldn't think it's bad, but I could see how it could be a little bit of a detriment because there's an ease, a comfort when it comes for you, especially with self-identity, independence, your life's direction, taking action towards your life's direction, and also giving back to yourself through self-nourishment. So there can be an ease there. You could be a little too independent. You know, your North Node being in the 7th house, you gotta, you know, move towards the connection. I know it's a little bitter, but you gotta move towards the other people. You gotta move towards the business contracts, relationships, partnerships, interpersonal connection. You know, you can't be too independent. It's not going to be a happy life. It's not going to be fulfilling. You know, the South Node is what comes natural to us, but it is still unfulfilling. I know some people say it's what we're moving away from. No, because you can never move away from the South Node. It is still in your chart. You are finding balance between the axis. That's why you have the North and the South Node. You have to move towards the North Node to establish balance with the South Node. Does that make sense? So you'll always find comfort with yourself, your independence, your life's direction, taking action towards that. But in order to feel fulfilled in your life, you need to move over towards that relationship, partnership, interpersonal connection. And something's telling me that the universe does it naturally, but it may not be your pick of choice, you know, but it's what's meant for you. You know, so it's really also learning to have a relationship with yourself. That way, when a relationship does come in, you guys won't have as many issues as somebody who does not know themselves, that are just in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship. It's going to be something that you're going to learn on your journey as well. Don't just enter a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship or just because you're lonely. Let's see here. That makes sense. Just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. Of course. That's what I'm here to do. You know, Aries and Leo, Venus chemistry. Well, it's a natural flow. It is. They're both of the same element, same fire element. Aries, Venus definitely just needs somebody who's going to match their energy, somebody who may be impulsive and spontaneous, but child, we don't need enough of that in this world. Anyway, moving on. Mind your business. With Venus and Aries, though, they also need a level of independence within the relationship. So both parties need to be independent to their own extent before getting in a relationship and really working out that dynamic. But with Leo, Venus and Leo just needs to have fun and adventure in a relationship. They definitely could be a romantic relationship. They yearn for romance. They yearn for love. They yearn to have some sort of recreation, you know? So it's all about really just enjoying the relationship too. So they can definitely go along because Leo can match Aries energy tenfold. You know, Aries can definitely have fun with Leo, you know, sometimes too much fun. Look at God. But, you know, look, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. It could be a toss-up, though, depending on the ascendant, because, of course, you now have the houses that you're throwing in as well. So you got to take that into consideration too. Let's see. Just had a baby. Congratulations. And she has the same moon as you. Any meaning there? It could be, you know. I find, like, I'm very interested in family astrology. I don't have much, per se, as far as, like, why you both have the same moon. It could just be, you know, but I will say pay attention to that and pay attention to any future patterns that they may hold. For instance, for me, on my father's side, a lot of Scorpio energy, a lot of Aquarius energy. It's a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. My grandfather, Scorpio sun. My father, Scorpio ascendant. My older half-brother, Scorpio ascendant. My older biological brother, Scorpio sun. My twin, Scorpio sun. Me, Scorpio sun. My dog, Mars. But there's just a lot of Scorpio energy. And then my mom has Venus in Scorpio. So there's a lot of Scorpio energy going on there. And wow. The way I don't know my father's side of the family, and when I find out some things, it's like, you did what? You know, with who? Really? Are you sure? Ask them all them questions, you know. But for the most part, yeah, explore your families if there's any meaning, because I would say, I guess the only thing that I could say is pay attention to the traits that Capricorn bring, because that could definitely be within the family. Also pay attention to what house it falls into. Is it the same house as well, or is it just the same sign? All right, let's see here. Assuming. Right. You know what I mean? Come on, Capricorn ascendant. We love a lot of Scorpio energy. Thank you. I'm excited to look at more of our family charts. Yes. And for everybody, you know, if you guys have, or if you're finding patterns in your family, there could be something there. You know, also pay attention to your, oh my God. Oh, sorry. Also pay attention to your fourth house because that can tell a lot about the family. But I'm like, I feel like that doesn't resonate as much as, you know, just taking a look to see like, but you don't want to just pay attention to the sun placement. You just want to pay attention to all the placements. You know, is there like Scorpio energy? Is there Aquarius energy? Do we all have the same moon? Why? You know, like I feel like there's a message there, but I don't have the answer or the full answer at this time, I should say. Me and my son have the same Leo rising. See, that's why I'm like, I feel like there are definitely ancestral patterns going on there. For some people, that could be because of the fact that, like, that could be karmic for them. And they're meant to break the cycle. Like, for instance, if there's Scorpio energy, especially if you have Scorpio energy or Pluto in the fourth, and you find that you have, like, a lot of energy, you are definitely meant to break the cycle in some degree. Like, for instance, my older biological brother, he has... he's a Scorpio sun, but he has a lot of Scorpio placements. Like he has North Node, Venus, Jupiter, and his sun in Scorpio. And he's meant to break the cycle in some degree. But if I'm going to look at his chart and look at everybody else's chart, we all have Scorpio energy. What, he's supposed to just move into Sagittarius? I don't know. But like, he's meant to break the cycle to some degree. So that's my 2 cents on that. My mom is a Virgo rising and I'm a Sag rising. We clash. I feel extremely restricted by her. It's because, see, Sag risings, Moon and Sag especially, is they feel restricted at the beginning of their lives. It's because it's teaching them to value their freedom. And Virgos, I'm not going to lie, it is that naggy energy. You know, it is going to feel a little restricting. Well, my mom, I wouldn't say my mom is restricting. My father, oh my God, he had a North Node in Virgo. And child, look, and he was in the 10th house? No. But I'd say that Virgo and Sag do not they naturally square. Self-effort is definitely required. Is it self-effort? No. They do gain fulfillment from one another, but it does require that introspection. Because here's the thing, they're both of the same modality. So Virgo is mutable earth, and then you have mutable fire, Sagittarius. Both have that mutable aspect going for them. But Sagittarius is fire. So Sagittarius is like, I'm free, I'm me, I'm doing all the things. You know, it's all about expansion. It's all about being yourself, you know, being the largest self, finding the meaning of life. Virgo is all about perfecting yourself. It's all about developing yourself. It's all about being the best version of yourself that you can be. And Virgo, because I will say here that your mom can definitely see how you can perfect and be the best version of yourself, but you may find that restricting because you don't like other people telling you what to do. That's it. You know, you may not like you may not like other people being in your business like that, or really like, you know, you may feel limited in a sense. You may feel that Capricornian energy over time, but in reality, you'll see later down the road, it was actually a blessing in disguise, you know? Sagittarius mean grind my gears. Sagittarius make me wanna pop a bee. So spot on. Thank you. I love Sagittarius energy. Wait a minute. Wait, I got a Mars and Venus in Sag. And Pluto. Hey, take that back. You know? Now I'll admit, they can sometimes get preachy teachy, the lecture Larry energy. Sometimes they act like they know it all. But like, look, we still love them. Kinda. You know? Let's see. Me being a Virgo rising. Come on, eyes. I have so much respect for your mind. Oh, thank you. Let's see here. I love Sag, but they could be too passive for me. Not the Sages I met. Oh my God. Wow. No. Passive where? Because, child, they're dominant. At least, well, you know what? I want to ask you guys a question. Have you manifested specific signs that met those houses too? What do I mean by that? For example, the Sagittariuses that I met in my life have all embodied that 6th house energy because I have a 6th house in Sagittarius. And so every Sagittarius that I meet, or anybody that has prominent Sagittarius energy, has always been about their work. I had a roommate that was a Sagittarius that was very much about finding a job and everything like that. He had a Virgo ascendant, and my mom has a moon in Sagittarius, 6 in her 6th house. I'm like, you just can't make it out. And maybe I'm like, am I the only one? Is there somebody else too? I don't know. You know, Sag passive. That's why I was like, I said the same thing. It's because we love learning. We love knowing and learning. But I wouldn't consider that to be passive though. You know, I just would say you guys like to learn. But here's the thing though, that kind of like throws everybody else off, because Sagittarius likes to learn at their own expense. They don't like, they don't necessarily prefer to learn through another. Depends on your chart. But I would say from my experience, most tend to learn on their own. They want the freedom to learn on their own, you know? And some people have an issue, and especially if you have like Saturn in the 10th, Saturn in the 1st, Saturn in Aries, you probably have issues with authority, you know? So that's probably why you yearn to do things on your own. Let's see here. Passive who? They're the most real, they're the most honest to me, too honest sometimes. Yeah, no, that's all I was like, I don't think they're passive. They're active, yes, you know, but Sag needs to learn on their own. Some Sag women that I've met can be very stubborn. I honestly feel like it depends on where you have Sagittarius, because there can be passive Sagittariuses. All right, if you have Sagittarius in the 4th, Sagittarius in the 12th, especially. Sagittarius in the 8th is a hit or miss. So is Sagittarius in the 6th, but it's usually the 4th, the 8th. Sorry, no, the 4th, the 12th, and I think that's it, you know, but prominent Jupiter placements, because Jupiter is exalted in a passive sign. Yeah, I just spit, sorry y'all. But Jupiter is exalted in a passive sign, so the passive energy is there, but that's not the first thing that I see when, you know, they're being themselves, you know what I mean? All right, enough about Sagittariuses. We may hype them up, you know, puts them in their higher energy of Leo. The 9th from the 9th is the 5th. Emotionally stubborn. Oop, T. All right, here we go. What new questions do we have? Do you know about zodiac compatibility? I do. I did a whole series on it. Well, I did it through the sun signs. I did. And then I stopped doing it because I was going to do it through the moon and Venus and everything like that. But it's like, people were asking, can I do it like that? But I'm like, I'll do it. But then I do it and then nobody watches it. Or TikTok doesn't push it out to the algorithm. And so I'm like, I'm not doing it, you know? But I recently did have a class today in regards to chart rulers, and I may do a class on compatibility. May do a class on compatibility. May. Not June, but May, you know? What about a Taurus man and a Capricorn woman? I'm with a Taurus right now. Well, your sun's trine, but what about Venus? What about Mars? What about the moon? You know, the sun is a little vague. I'm not gonna lie. Taurus and Capricorn naturally get along. They naturally have the practical, pragmatic energy behind them. Definitely very ambitious. Capricorn can sometimes be a little too, authoritative for Taurus, because Taurus is definitely the conservative energy. It will get things done, but it also values itself. It also values self-worth and value. Or, well, it values itself, it also values self-worth and giving back to itself through self-replenishment. And so Capricorn, always constantly being in the work energy, may be a little too much for Taurus. Taurus is not, it's a nonconformist. So Taurus will not listen to anything or that you may want to do, but will always try to tell you what to do, you know? So watch out for that. But for the most part, I'm going to need like more, like Venus, Mars, you know, the aspects, the sextiles, but just on a general basis, that's pretty much it. Oh, I thought you were asking me how was my childhood, because I was like, child, it was great, you know? It was not perfect, but it was something, you know? Let's see. Can you tell me about 4th house stellium in Scorpio? Oh, I just spoke about this. My older brother has it. But his childhood was okay. It was fine. But Leo ascendant. Yeah. So I will say it probably started out really good, but then there was something that came in that gave that attention a halt, you know? But you also seen a lot of things from early on. And I'm assuming that you probably have Pluto in that placement too. With the 4th house stellium in Scorpio, I usually ask what planets are in that, but usually with the 4th house stellium in Scorpio, it's probably where you born in 94 too. But you see that these individuals have experienced or observed a lot, because Scorpio is the sign of observation. It's the sign of truth seeking, you know, so they've observed a lot in their family, home, perhaps their mother figure as well. And for them, part of their karma, or part of what they're meant to do, is to change the narrative of what they've observed from early in childhood. Okay, so you are a generational curse breaker, because you do have that Plutonian influence in that 4th house. So it's not going to be easy, but you also need to let go of any emotions that no longer serve you as well. Let go of the past, because you know it's not serving you. All right, and this helps you to step into your power. Let's see here. Yes, born 94. I'm telling you, The only reason why I know that is because if you have a 4th house stellium in Scorpio, chances are you were born in 94, because I could tell you especially what's in that. Unless you were born in October or November, you have Venus, you have Jupiter, you have the North Node there, and Pluto. Yeah. What did I say? You can't make this up. I'm screaming. All right, let's see here. Okay. Okay, 4th house Scorpio Mars. So 4th house Scorpio Mars is in its home sign traditionally, but it can cause some frustration. It can cause some inner conflict and tension within the home, perhaps through a mother figure especially. There's no indicator for the father. Rarely will you see it be with the father. But in the traditional sense, the 4th house did deal with the father figure. Weirdly enough, so let me explain that real quick. The 10th house in modern astrology is the father figure, whereas it's the 4th house for the mom. But in traditional times, the 4th house was the father, the 10th house was the mother, was because it was visible to the public. When your mom was pregnant with you, that was very visible to the public, to the masses. So your mother's involvement in having you was very visible, whereas your father's involvement wasn't really that visible. It was hidden, you know, which can be seen with the 4th house. Is more foundational, you know. So I'm more just the 4th house's mother because it deals with nurture, caring emotions, and my father did not do that. So anyway, with 4th house Mars, especially in Scorpio, do not rush through your healing journey. All right, it is asking you to go within, heal from any transformative experiences, let go of what no longer serves you. You definitely need to face your emotions head on with that Mars in the 4th house. So I'll tell you that. All right, I got some new messages. Come on, Slay. Yes. Let's see. Pluto, Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus. Were you born in Scorpio too? November? Wait a minute. Did I read your chart before? 8th house Leo with Sun sitting in it. Oh, okay. So 8th house Leo with Sun sitting in it. Are you a Capricorn rising? All right. So I will say this is where you shine first and foremost. You shine in transformative experiences, going below the surface, accepting the darker aspects of life, really making peace with your past, intimacy, vulnerability as well, sex, death, taxes, the occult knowledge. You're definitely going to get a lot of experience or a lot of wisdom from your healing journey, but just be sure to share that with others. You can actually help to motivate people to step into their power because of the things that you've gone through as well. Very formative placement too. Could come into an inheritance. I usually see it with Jupiter ruled signs and Venus ruled signs. But the sun here, you know, hey, you never know, you know. Yes, Cap rising. That's right. That's right. It's a gift. Let's see. Pluto 10th house, opposition Saturn in the 4th house in all caps. All right. So Pluto in the 10th, opposition Saturn in the 4th. I'm not going to lie. It's not going to be easy, babes. It's not going to be easy. But Pluto in the 10th house, first and foremost, do not over-obsess over career, status, legacy, and life's work. Very powerful within your career. People will definitely project. I'm not going to lie. Don't take that on. All right. But when it's opposing Saturn, that means that your career, status, legacy, and life's work is just going to need a balance of your personal and your public life here too. All right. So with Saturn in the 4th, it's not an easy placement either, okay? Early on, could have had a harsh relationship with the mom, could have been brought up in a strict home. This can also mean that you could have, it could be hard for you to express your emotions in the way that you want them to, or in the way that you want, because early on, you probably didn't get that. You didn't get the emotional yearning that you yearned for. And so this can make it harder for you to express your emotions around just anybody. But the good news with this placement is you're going to find your chosen family. It's just going to come usually after your Saturn return comes. But with the opposition here, there just needs to be the balance between private and public life, as well as healing from your career, healing from any experiences that your career may have, and really learning how to listen to your intuition, process your feelings and your emotions as well. The 5th house madness in Scorpio. Ooh, oh, 5th house Neptune in Scorpio. I thought you said 5th house madness. I was like, oh, look, I got 5th house Scorpio too. But yeah, so 5th house in Scorpio, when it's Neptune, you need to watch for escapism. Only reason why I'm going to put a very huge emphasis here is because it can get very transformative very quickly. Addiction, escapism, need to, you know, nothing wrong with, you know, doing it, you know, nothing wrong with, you know what I mean? But because Neptune has a very addictive personality, habit is very very easily attained here. So you just want to watch for escapism, and you want to watch for addiction here. It could turn transformative. But for the most part, you know, your beliefs run deep. Your spirituality definitely runs deep. It could be more occult-like, could be into astrology. But you also need a more realistic approach when you are expressing yourself, building up your confidence, going out and having fun. You can't just imagine it. You need to put into tangible action to make that a reality for yourself. All right, last question, and I think I'm going to call it a day because I'm hungry and I want some cereal. You're welcome. All right, Leo on the 10th house. So Leo in the 10th house means that you're probably a Scorpio rising here. Astrology has no proof. All right, so Leo in the 10th house, as I was saying, this means that you're really meant to build up your own confidence, express yourself, as well as help other people to do so, help other people to motivate themselves. So it means that you need to kind of like get out of being shy per se, if in the case that you find that you're a shy person, or you find that you're a more private person. It really requires you to really just have fun in your career status, I can see in life's work as well. That's pretty much Leo in the 10th. Whatever aspects that you may have will affect that as well. But that's pretty much all I have time for today. I'll probably be live next week. That way I can answer more of the questions. Don't leave. We love you. Oh, I love you too. But I'm hungry. I want to eat some cereal. I am. So I'm going to go do that. All right? But until next week, I fare thee well. All right? Saturday, April 8th. 2023. Take care. Bye-bye.